conservatives that you said we can't work with, you're right. And they are increasingly unhinged, the reactions to the DNC, which is kind of what the DNC wanted. What if they had joke writers? Do you think Kevin Hart, maybe Dave Chappelle was behind some of what was inserted into some of these speeches? It was good. All it needed was a laugh track, okay? Let's see. How did the folks at Fox News react to the first night of the DNC? This ought to be good.
Carl, last night you said that Democrats are falling in love and in line. Have you ever seen anything like it?
No, this is normally what Republicans do is fall in line, but Democrats normally fall in love, and they're doing both this time around.
Look, I'm not sure why there was so much screaming last night. I mean, starting with Joe and then being in the hall. So they're in the middle of this Hollywood choreographed makeover. Everybody in the hall is going to buy it.
They know that this party and these candidates, Sean, are very phony. They're very inauthentic. Look at Donald Trump. 2 days before our convention, he's shot in the head. He shows up at our convention. He's there every single day. He's there for all the major speeches.
Did explain why she likes Doritos. She said after she found out Trump won in 2016, she sat there with like a big family-sized bag of Doritos and ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
She obviously eats her feelings, and when she experiences anxiety, she puts a lot of food in her mouth. I'm worried if she's elected commander-in-chief, she's going to become so anxious, she's going to end up looking like Walls.
You see that right there is why I can't stand him. A lot of us eat our feelings. 6 Krispy Kreme, the jelly ones, the raspberry jelly ones. I've done it. Might have been last night. Bag of Cheez-Its. So what, Jesse? Karl Rove lacks emotion, but I'll give him credit for being a devious genius, political genius, devious though. Okay? I'll say that. Hannity, they're laughing and they're happy and they're screaming because it was orgasmic. Something perhaps you don't know about, okay? It's just one of those things. You'll know when you know, Sean. And apparently, this is, must be boring. In your house, maybe somewhere.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
Not to be outdone, a pundit on CNN said this.
My take on last night was, like as John said, I'm clearly not the audience. I think that there wasn't a lot of outreach to the Tim Walz part of the party. If you're a white working class guy in Erie County, Pennsylvania, nothing spoke to you last night. They weren't going after those voters, the Tim Walz voters last night. It was geared towards, specific, very heavy on abortion, right? Lots of women of color and women. So you're right. That my demographic was not the target last night.
Dude, white guys for Kamala, remember them? Maybe not your kind of white guy, but there's lots of white guys who enjoyed themselves last night. I saw the vice presidential presumed nominee and his wife, his kids, putting rabbit ears behind him. They were having a ball. His son, these are white dudes, and this was for them, okay? And I think that these white dudes will probably be on their feet. I saw plenty of white dudes in the audience. I also saw plenty of women. I saw diversity, young, seniors, a lot of people there. And the white dudes were cheering. They were cheering. Meanwhile, Donald Trump reacted to Biden's DNC speech on Truth Social, writing an angry and ranting speech full of lies. I thought he was talking about Joe Biden, not himself. I'll say it again. Is this not ironic? An angry, ranting speech full of lies. Biden took credit for everything done during the Trump administration. Not the response to COVID. I didn't hear him say that he took glee in ousting Fauci or locking him in the White House basement and ensuring the deaths of scores of people. I didn't hear him say anything about that, but whatever. He goes further, even continuing to say that he was better on inflation and jobs. I know how our producers are, so just let me get through the statement and then we'll make sure you understand, okay? He never mentioned the Afghanistan disaster and all the wars he got us into, or the fact that far more people died from COVID during the Biden years than the Trump years. The jobs Biden-Harris created were almost 100% from illegal aliens pouring into our country, which are destroying the lives of our Black, where are my Blacks, and Hispanic population. Okay? So Truth Social doesn't have that thing where I just, go ahead and repost something on Instagram, and it's not even not true. And sometimes you hit with that flag, you know what I'm talking about, Jackson? It says, we flagged this, we're looking into this, this may not be accurate. Truth Social doesn't have that, do they? They don't have that? No.
Well, of course not. Of course they don't, because 60% of the content is generated by Donald Trump. So
that part, right? They're not too good. Megyn Kelly tweeted as well. The Megster, still, she's a very angry lady. Here's her response to LaFonza Butler's speech, writing, LaFonza Butler's speaker. She filled Feinstein's seat, celebrating that she and Harris both graduated from historically Black colleges. Imagine the white person up there. I'm proud to tell you I went to a mostly white university. Hey, Meg, isn't that what we've been listening to at the RNC? Keep America white again? Could have easily been the slogan. Could have easily been the slogan. What is she talking about? This aggrieved white people thing is, isn't it played out by now? Even if you like that sort of thing, it's time for a change, okay? Then there's this. Of course, Lara Loomer would say something offensive and inaccurate during Jill Biden's speech, tweeting, wow, Jill Biden, it's Dr. Jill for you, just said our son, Beau, he's not your son, Dr. Biden. Okay, she addressed her properly and then was quite ignorant. He's dead, number one. Two, his mother was the woman who died in a car accident while you were having an affair with Joe Biden. Why does Jill Biden lie and say another woman's son is her son? It's so gross. You're gross. This is gross. I don't pretend to have a line to the other side, but if I did, and I was able to speak to Joe Biden's first wife, became a widower. She was killed along with his infant daughter. I think that there's somewhere on the other side, no matter what you believe, and they're so happy. They're thankful for Dr. Jill Biden for stepping in, for comforting Joe Biden, being a partner to him. And oh yeah, his two grieving sons were badly injured while their father went off to serve their country, taking the Amtrak from Wilmington to Washington, D.C. and back. We heard the story from his daughter, who talked about how he took that train back for her birthday and then crossed over to the Southern track. You watched, Jackson, and went on back to D.C., but he was there to blow out the candles, sing happy birthday and blow out the candles. We expect this, Jackson. Well, every now and then they do get to me, and I'm just like, who hurt you? How are you this ugly? If you have children, shouldn't we be concerned? Who does this? And by the way, there was no affair. We should be fact checking, but it's just a full-time job to fact check.
Yeah, I mean, you would never have enough time to fact check everything. But of course, all we're looking at is, these people know not only that they're losing, they know they're going to lose. So they have to say something. They got to take up they're booked from 6 to 7 p.m. So they got to say something. They can't be on there with nothing to say at all. That's all it is. Yeah. And Trump talking about 100% of the jobs. We don't even need to revisit that because that's ridiculous. But yeah, Jesse Waters he's so painful.
Is he not?
It's so painful. He's I'm one of the dumbest guys on television. Yeah. That's why I'm always making a smirk and always making a joke about everything because I know that I'm stupid. Like when people are, it's so.
You want to talk about mediocrity, okay, bailing upwards. What did you do except as, smarmy, sophomore frat boy, man on the street interviews during O'Reilly's, Bill Lufa O'Reilly's show. And now suddenly you're worth millions and you have a show. I will eat my feelings anytime I wish. If I don't want to get on the elliptical afterwards.
He gets paid very handsomely to be an idiot.
To be, yeah, that's right. You're a jerk. Being a jerk. Hey, in response to Hillary Clinton's speech, Many said this was the best they'd seen her, Loomer wrote, one of the funniest parts of the DNC last night was when Hillary Clinton suggested that her mom and Kamala Harris's mom, there you go talking about somebody's mama. Now here you go again. I know you just told me to keep it cool, Jackson, but don't talk about people's mamas. Here she is. Kamala Harris's mom were hanging out talking about how proud they are of them. Yeah, in hell, maybe. Jackson, I'm sorry. I understand you said that they're booked for an hour. They got to, entertain the people. But how low can you go? This is, I don't want to give trash a bad name because it's somewhere deeper than that.
Trash
I don't know
once had
how you can
purpose.
be this person. Do you kiss your partner with this mouth? Do you go to church if you believe in that? I just kind of need to understand more. And how are you received in these so-called places of love and holy energy? This is ridiculous, no?
Well, you asked if they can go lower. Yeah, they definitely can. And I think that we're going to see them go lower because, again, I mean, the election is completely running away from Donald Trump. Like, it just is. I mean, like, I know we have to, caution people to still show up to the polls. But, I mean, what more is there to see at this point? How, please answer this, anybody, how is Trump going to turn this around? How are Republicans going to turn this around? Only if someone waves a magic wand and they just wake up as different human beings than they've been for the last decades and decades. But it's totally running away from Trump. It's running away from Republicans. People are going to show up to the polls, not just to vote for Kamala and Walz and to move into the future. They're showing up to the polls to vote for abortion rights. Abortion rights are on the ticket in Missouri, Arizona, I believe, and also I think in Nevada. $15 minimum wage is on the ballot initiative here in Missouri as well.
Hey,
so people are showing up to the polls to vote for popular policies anyway. And then you got Donald Trump. I don't think she's a bright person. I think I'm a bright person. A lot of people say that. And what are we even talking about right now? He won't shut up about Biden. Hey, it is what it is.
Hey, look, I reside in the once Confederate state of Georgia. Okay, it was red. This is the land of Newt Gingrich. Okay, we still have a Republican governor, Kemp, and he wants no part of Trump. And his wife, the first lady, she said, "I'm not even going to vote for him. I'm going to write my husband in." I agree with the first lady of Georgia in this case. But here's the thing: that you said they're voting for issues. They're also going to vote down ballot. Mm-hmm. I am hearing talk in the great state of Georgia that the Democrats may flip the state House and Senate soon. Do you understand how unheard of that is? The Republican majority, they don't have to do anything. Sometimes they mess with the lines and stuff to ensure victory, but that may be over because of this guy's a winner. He's the one that fired people on this reality show. He's about to fire his own party down ballot. And it won't just happen in Georgia. It'll happen throughout these battleground states, perhaps. Jordan, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Georgia. Last I saw, Kamala's 5 points down in Florida. Biden was 10 points down. And again, I think Florida may still be a long shot. But more and more, we're seeing that the reality is Kamala now has multiple paths to victory, and Trump doesn't. He just doesn't anymore. If he doesn't win his one path to victory, it's over. Every single week, Kamala's still rising in the polls. The DNC last night was good. Even if you hate the Democrats and can't stand nothing they stand for, if you're objective and realistic, you got to look at that and be like, these people are cooking something up. The Democrats are taking over the country right now. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is not even campaigning. He's stuck in Bedminster. He doesn't have offices open in states that he needs to win. I mean, he's running his playbook basically like Hillary Clinton did in 2016, which is how she lost to Donald Trump and how she lost to Barack Obama. So, it's really an amazing thing to watch. And, let's keep our foot on the gas.
Foot on the gas. Okay. Let's keep moving. Okay. And I know some people are saying, oh, you took Joe Biden out of prime time. And that's malpractice time management. Listen. Maybe some young, inexperienced production staffer couldn't time the show. Or maybe it was by design. We're moving forward. We're moving forward.